Welcome to Freaky Fauna Friday, where every Friday we take a little time and explore some of the freaks of nature from around the planet we cherish so deeply. So please, jump aboard and let's explore the wilds together. Welcome back to Freaky Fauna Friday.
Sometimes when I hear that intro, I just feel like I'm on like a hammock swinging from my porch.
I feel like I need a beer every time I hear it. It's so short compared to some of our other intros.
I know, but it is relaxing.
What freak of nature are we covering today?
Oh, wait, who are you?
Oh, if this is your first time tuning in, I happen to be the great and powerful mystery.
And I'm just Jay. Today on Friday, Freaky Fauna Friday. Ew. So, what's our freak we're going to discuss today?
Why don't you introduce him?
I don't know what we're doing. Are we doing the bullet ant?
No.
Because I can give you a laundry list of facts about the bullet ant that I just made up.
That I just made up right now. No, we're going to do the manta ray.
The manta ray?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what killed Steve Irwin?
No.
Okay.
Well, I have 9 interesting facts about manta ray we're going to go over.
Darn it. I thought you were going to say 9 interesting facts about Steve Irwin.
No.
Maybe he can be a
He's
freaky
killed by a
fun.
stingray.
Stingray, that's what it was.
Yeah, manta rays are completely harmless.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. No matter, so we're going to talk about the manta ray. It's the one, it's weird, they've earned the name devilfish.
Why?
So when you look over top of them and they're deeper in the water, they look like they have like devil's horns and they're wearing the devil's cape as they go by, and they have the devil's tail.
Yeah, I see it.
Like literally, they're like the silhouette of the devil.
This is giving me... Okay, go on. I just had deja vu
We may have talked about... Did we do a freaky fun on the manta ray?
No, this is something from my... from my childhood. There's something... It's like red and yellow. No, what's
Pokemon.
that? No, not Pokemon. No, this was like something. There's something back in there. It's red and yellow, and it's like a devilfish. It'll come to me this episode. There's something. It's there, but I don't know what it is. But
so yeah, they've earned the moniker the devilfish, and it's completely nothing to do with their personality.
Right.
It's just their silhouette. But yeah, so these are massive filter feeders. They often are doing loops and figure eights to help filter feed. But let's get into some fun facts. Manta rays are covered in a mucus film. Now they are covered in an extremely strong protective mucus. If it gets removed, it does open the manta ray up for extreme illnesses and damage. Okay. So that's why there's a big no-touch manta ray rule in the wild, because there's a lot of opportunities to swim with these guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is the one you're not really supposed to, like, they'll kick you off the dive and stuff like that.
If these guys are around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
What do you think of that one?
I mean, it's interesting fact I didn't know. I always thought people did swim with these things.
Oh, people swim with them all the time. You're not supposed to pet them.
You're just not supposed to. Okay.
Manta rays are filter feeders, like I just said.
Yep.
Their main target is tiny crustaceans such as plankton and even segmented worms they pull out of the water. But they also follow some fish migrations to eat like oceanic fish eggs. Benthic's the word I was looking for. But yeah, they have gill rakers on their gill slits, and they just pull water in and pull all the the little organisms out.
Okay.
My third one is manta rays are completely harmless, although they look very dangerous, especially when you're considering them to be stingray-like. They have no stinger. They really have no way of hurting you.
Really?
Yeah. The only real way they can hurt you is if they land on you when they jump.
Right, because they do come flying out of the water.
We'll talk about jumping here in a minute.
Yeah. Now, I remember on Jeremy Wade, what's that show called?
River Monsters?
River Monsters. When he caught that one, was that a manta ray or was that a stingray? That was a stingray.
That was a freshwater stingray, and they're extremely dangerous.
Okay.
Their barb can get up to 12 inches long, and they will cut you in half.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Very different animals.
Okay.
They kind of look similar, but they're very, very different animals.
Okay.
But yeah, so although they look very dangerous, especially because they look stingray-like, they're actually very harmless. No stinger, no way of hurting you. They have 300 tiny teeth, but they are not sharp.
Okay.
People have rubbed their hands, even though you're not supposed to touch them. People have rubbed their hands all against their teeth, and nothing has happened. Like, you can't cut yourself on their teeth. They're more vestigial at this point.
Okay.
From being their
leftovers.
Yeah. They're all filter feeders now. If a manta ray feels threatened, though, or feels danger while it's around you, it can flee at speeds of up to 24 kilometers per hour.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah. Oh, so that's really the only way you can get hurt is if you really, really spook them.
And they just shoot off.
They hit you.
Yeah.
Like, they're not purposely going for you, but when they panic, they panic.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like a get off the tracks and the train's coming through kind of thing?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Manta rays are among the largest animals in the ocean. They're specifically the largest members of their family group. Manta rays are much longer than you think. They average being a 7-foot wingspan and weighing up to 2 tons.
It's pretty big.
Do you want to guess what the world record is?
Weight-wise?
Weight and wingspan.
Wingspan, 8 feet, 2 inches. Weight, 3,112 pounds.
No.
Am I way off?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
What was your weight guess?
3,112.
So their wingspan, the world record, is larger than a giraffe, and they are heavier than a rhino.
Holy moly.
These guys are big. The world record confirmed is 30 feet.
What?
Yeah. And that one was right around 6,000 pounds. Now, depending on what part of the ocean you're in, that average from 7 feet jumps up to an average of 18 feet.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. These guys have an extremely long, complex life cycle.
Wow. Okay. I didn't think they got that big. At all.
There's an old like 1919 photo of one that was killed off of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
That was hanging. It was an entire. So here's the weird thing. It was like 19. It wasn't 1919. It was like 1930 something. 1936.
Okay.
There's a semi trailer under it. It's being picked up off a flatbed semi trailer. It is
Okay.
the entire length of the semi trailer.
And those are like
The modern ones are 51 or 52 feet.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of argument about this photo.
What? That it's photoshopped or that?
That it's a smaller semi trailer. It's forced perspective thing.
Yeah.
But it's. I think it's real. I think these guys we have ones today that are around the 28, 30 foot mark alive that we see every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think they historically got much bigger before. We'll talk about these guys are in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
And I think before they were in a lot of trouble, they got a lot bigger.
Gotcha.
They're
Okay.
not hard to kill. I'll put it like that. They're very friendly.
It seems like a lot of things on this list are like that. Used to be bigger, and there's accounts of a lot bigger ones.
It's animals in general because they used to, if you're friendly, you're probably going to be eaten
By humans.
Like I said, they are one of the largest to roam. Manta rays have to swim to stay alive, so they're one of these fish that are perpetual motion swimmers. So they have to keep swimming to breathe.
Makes sense.
Some species of shark have to do this, not all.
Yeah.
There are sharks that can just sit still, but when we're talking about stuff like great whites and the bigger species,
Gotta keep
manta
moving.
rays, stingrays, and sharks all have a common ancestor.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Sharks, rays, and skates are all in the same, I think it may be family.
Okay.
Like we've already talked about, manta rays jump out of the water. Scientists are still extremely baffled why they jump out of the water. We have seen some of the jumping being due to like predation,
Yeah.
getting away from orcas and such.
Right.
It's not always though. Sometimes they just literally
Just do
there's
it.
videos like them going real slow and then whoop flying, landed, and then going. Here's the thing: is after they jump way high out of the water and they land, they go back to being calm. So you think if it was a panic thing, like even if they got spooked or something, once they land, they're still flying.
Yeah.
Then they're not just going to stop after they land again.
Well, I bet it could be like a fun thing for them. It could be
So
like
that
a
is
practice.
that is one of the things. The other thing is communication. That the slap on the water. We've Gulf sturgeon do this in freshwater habitats to tell each other where they're at for breeding. Because they're very large, solitary animals in most of nature.
So,
But then when they jump and they slam their big bodies into the water, it signals, "Hey, I'm over here."
so it could be a breeding.
That, or
it
even
could
just
be.
a saying, "Hey,
Right.
I'm over here."
Yeah,
And it's an open ocean. The sound travels much farther than sight.
that is true. A lot further. Yeah.
There's also the thing with getting rid of parasites. Open ocean animals often have tons and tons of parasites on the skin. Manta rays are very susceptible to parasites. They're ones that you often see being reef cruisers. They
Okay.
do very poorly anywhere around a reef, but they're often viewed coming into reefs to have the parasites picked off them.
Ah, okay.
So there's several options, and it could be all of them. It could be for entertainment, it could be for communication, it could be for parasite removal and predator avoiding. They're just, There's also some evidence that they may be giving birth in this process.
Like shooting out babies when they pop up.
Yes. So what some scientists think are happening is right before or right after they drop a baby because they give live birth.
Okay.
Right before or right after, that they are making all this noise to attract all the predators to them.
Oh, to the mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mom's dropping a baby, then jump to the surface, making all this noise, flapping around, flapping around, flapping around. So any predator in the area that maybe smelled the birth is drawn to her
And not
rather
the
than the
baby.
newborn.
Yeah, makes sense.
So there's a lot of options. It's all speculative at this point because
Right.
they're extremely hard. There's also a little bit of evidence to suggest that they're doing this when they're not getting enough oxygen from swimming.
Okay.
So we do this with pike and muskie when we catch them. You throw them head first down to the water, like kind of hard, and it restarts their breathing.
Right, yeah.
So those are all options. Manta rays are found in all tropical and subtropical waters. Manta rays have been spotted in north, south of the equator. They've also been great gatherings. They're in Indonesia, Thailand, Spain, the Maldives, Australia are all among the best places to spot manta rays in the wild. The furthest north manta rays ever been spotted is South Carolina in the U.S., and the southernmost is New Zealand.
That's pretty far down.
That's pretty far. And then South Carolina, the water is really cold.
Okay.
Like, we go, it's like Topsail Beach is a famous swim beach and all that stuff. But as far as ocean animals are considered, the water is still pretty chilly.
Okay.
Manta rays, okay, now we're going to get into some sad things.
Okay, let's get to it. Get it over with.
All about the sad places, the sad faces
Of manta rays.
Manta rays are classified as extremely endangered. The International Union of Conservation of Nature, the IUCN, we've talked about their red list before, has announced that manta rays now join the 16,000 other species red listed.
Okay.
Humans are the biggest threat to manta rays, large due to overfishing and being caught in entangled fishing gear just like whales. Manta rays get their gill plates tangled, which they use for filter feeding for small fish. So even if they escape, most of the time their gills are damaged enough where they cannot feed anymore. So it's a slow death of starvation. There's also, there's two really bad ones that are happening currently. A relatively new Asian-based trade is making significant impact on the wild manta rays for the demand of their gills.
What?
These animals are so if you watch, there's a documentary out there right now. I cannot remember what island chain it is. It's about the last traditional whalers.
Okay.
It's a small island in Indo-Pacific where they hunt one sperm whale a year. But they kill thousands and thousands of manta rays every year.
Oh, really?
Because the mainland is paying them. These people have nothing. They're paying them pennies to go kill these manta rays, rip the gills out, and bring them back.
Wow. Why the gills?
So it's this thing with some of the Asian markets, like weird animal body parts, medicinal purposes, and all this stuff.
Wow.
It's like rhino horn. Why? There's nothing. Rhino horn is just keratin.
Or shark fins.
Yeah, eat the whole shark.
Yeah.
So these guys are being paid to rip the gills out of them, and then there's little videos of just thousands of manta rays with no gills just laying on the beach. Wow. They don't do anything with them.
Wow.
Another big problem. This one's more off of Florida and Australia. Manta rays are getting their faces bashed in by boats. So they get in these big breeding groups right at the surface, and boats think it's fun to go right through the middle of them.
Oh,
and there's
really?
a video that just came out this week. That's why I picked manta rays. A video just came out this week of a big breeding pod of them. That like two of them had their faces hanging off. So they have these twirls, these feeding. It helps direct food.
Right, pushes it in their mouth.
They're all hanging off, and they don't even have eyes anymore, and that kind of stuff.
Because people ran their boat through it.
Yeah, and there's literally drone footage of like a big jet boat going right through the middle, like 50 of them.
Wow.
Hitting like 7 of them.
You know what? I think I saw that video.
Yeah.
I think I saw that.
So when manta rays are slow, they're focused on breeding, so they're not really paying attention.
Wow.
So manta rays are one of these animals that are very friendly. They're one of the animals that you look at, and this is a weird thing. I don't know if I were talking about this in the show. It's one of the animals I think, I don't know, I don't want to say the word spiritual. I guess a soul. Like when you really look at them and you watch them, you feel like your soul connect with them. Like they like people, like and it's to their detriment.
Yeah, it has been for sure.
It's
almost everything that's like that though.
Yeah.
I mean
they're very like they like hanging around divers. They like looking at things. They're very like
curious and
I know
sentient.
They're very, very strong spiritual significance to the people of the Pacific Islands. Like Moana did it. Her grandma's spirit animal was a manta ray. That's what she turned into.
Nice.
They're seen as like Voyager guardians and stuff like that. because they're just these big oceanic travelers.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they're extremely intelligent animals. There's even big. So we'll talk about some cool things about them. They have some very crazy color patterns. It's actually what we use to identify them.
Is there color pattern?
Yeah, under the underside and sometimes even the shoulders. So most of the time they're jet black on top, white on the bottom, with spots on the bottom. There's been ones that have big slashes of white over the top. There's been like these like capes that come up. Like they've had either way. Manta rays can even be pink.
They can be pink?
They can be hot pink and black.
Wow.
So they have all kinds.
A hot pink manta ray, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be a cool pet. We should get one for the tank.
Yeah. There's only a handful of aquariums
That have
manta rays. I think the Georgia Aquarium has manta rays. But like, I mean, everybody, if you look up, there's a pink one.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
But the color variation on the top can be jet black, can have white, can have all these crazy markings. And they're completely harmless. It's so weird. Really, they don't have they don't have very many natural predators anymore. It's like some of the larger shark species for sure. But these guys are normally pretty quick, and they're hard to handle when they get really large.
Are they just really powerful?
Yeah, they're extremely strong. So once again, you know, an orca is 30 foot long, and the biggest ones of these are 30 foot wide.
Yeah, that's insane. They even think about.
They can be really hard to handle, and they can dive really deep.
Okay.
So most of the time, they'll either jump out of the water or they'll dive straight down. So orcas do eat these guys. It's not very common because most of the time, ones you see orcas harassing are like 5 to 10 foot.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they give up because it's just not worth it. There's not a lot of meat there. I mean, it's fin and bone. Like rays have their whole body is nothing but bones.
That's pretty awesome, though.
That's manta rays.
I didn't know a lot of this about manta rays at all.
So I had a buddy tell me a story about a manta ray. Actually, it's one of the same pier I seen the humpback whale on in Florida, where I remember him showing me the video to where they had this gigantic black shape going in and out of the pier, and it was almost touching both like of the pier pilings. The posts that are dug in the ground, they're called pilings.
Oh, okay.
They're bigger than telephone poles.
Right, they're really big, yeah.
And they're like 100 foot tall or whatever, because we're like 50 foot in the air. So yeah, they're probably 100 foot tall. So they're giant pilings. But it was almost touching both these pilings, and these pilings are almost 30 foot apart.
Yeah.
And you can park a camper in between them, and you just see this black shape going in and out of them, in and out of them, in and out of them near the bottom. And finally, it comes up and it's a manta ray.
Wow.
And then it goes right out in the ocean, and like it leaves and goes in the ocean.
That had to be awesome.
What it was probably doing was getting cleaned by all of the pier fish, because piers kind of act like a little reef.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So he's probably just hanging out in there long enough to get all the parasites picked off him.
Right, yeah. That's pretty awesome.
There's even fish that live in these guys' mouths.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like they just for safety, I'm guessing?
Yeah. There's whale sharks. So a lot of they have a lot of similarities with whale sharks. Even their heads look very similar to whale sharks, and that's convergent evolution. They're very distant cousins, but they do have some similarities. What do you think about manta rays?
I think they're pretty awesome.
I think they need protection.
I was just going to say, I think we need to protect them. So call to arms, just whenever you're out in the ocean.
Don't touch them.
Don't touch a manta ray, but wave.
Wave at them.
Wave and send them a good blessing.
But every time you see these guys swimming, they just seem like they're in their own little world.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen one at an aquarium before, though, but...
The Georgia Aquarium is the only one I can think of on this side of the Mississippi that has them.
Then I guess I haven't.
Because the Georgia Aquarium is the only one, that, as far as I know, in the U.S. that has a whale shark.
Oh, gotcha.
Because they have like 6 manta rays and a whale shark in this thing.
Wow, they're special.
It's a massive aquarium.
It has to be. Have the biggest ocean fish in the world.
The biggest bony, yeah, the biggest living fish is the whale shark, and it's argued a little bit between the megamouth and the basking, but
right, yeah,
whale shark are definitely by weight.
Okay, gotcha.
Basking sharks definitely do not weigh as much as whale sharks.
Well, I didn't know a manta ray's stinger was completely
They don't have one.
Yeah, or tail was completely harmless. I did not know that.
Just a little tail. And then most of their so if you look at stingrays, they have a fin right on their tail. It would be their dorsal fin. These guys still have it, but after that, their tail is pretty much nothing. It's just like a little thing of bones.
It's like a rat's tail.
It's almost vestigial. So they have a lot of stuff that's vestigial. If you look at like oceanic sunfish, like they pretty much got rid of all of their tail fin completely.
Completely, yeah.
And that's probably where manta rays, if they get to live into the next, couple millennia.
Well, I'd say sunfish lost it, manta rays found it.
No, I think manta rays are going to lose theirs too.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm getting at. If they survive the human event, they may lose their tails completely. And they'll keep getting bigger. So filter feeders have just always break every stereotype of what we think is the biggest size of the biggest anything.
Yeah, there could be a 50-footer out there we just haven't found yet.
It may be, or it may have been. That one from Florida may have been 50 foot.
Right, yeah. That'd be sweet. That'd be sweet to catch that.
No, not really.
Yeah.
They don't eat. Like, they're just like, so you snagged it and you dragged it to death.
Oh, yeah, that would suck. I guess it would be sweet to see it. That's what I mean by catch.
Yeah.
Pull it to the surface and see it.
Oh, they'll probably die in that.
In a safe, humane way.
I'm looking up life expectancy before we go.
Okay.
Yeah. 45 years
That's
is what most people believe they can live to. Some people put them all the way up to 100.
You never know. So we get a tracker on one.
There is one that they believe the 28-footer that's out there right now is believed to be 75 years old. And that 33-foot one was believed to be 100.
Oh, wow. Wonder how they figured that out.
Otoliths. Fish are easy.
Oh, okay. Otoliths?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's the ear bone inside fish. So fish make it nice and easy because it's just like a tree. They grow rings every year.
Okay.
So when you cut their heads open, you pull that bone out, you bake it in an oven, and then you cut it in half and count the rings.
Oh, simple.
It's easy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it stinks to high heaven.
I bet it does.
We used to do it with like a sheep head and stuff like that.
The worst fish ever to do it too.
You had to do it to count how old they were.
Yeah. Oh, man. So this has been manta rays.
Yep. Sorry, it got kind of dark there at the end, but some of these do.
That's all right. It's freaky fauna. Protect your oceans.
Protect your oceans. That's really the big thing.
Yeah.
And then derelict fishing gear is like such a big deal right now. I know they're paying a lot of commercial fishermen in their off season to collect derelict fishing gear.
What's that mean?
Derelict is abandoned.
Oh, okay.
Like that's what's the number one killer of humpback whales today.
okay.
Whales in general. It's the number besides in the Atlantic Ocean. The number one killer of whales is derelict fishing gear. In the Pacific Ocean,
it's Japanese.
It's the Japanese fishing fleet.
Okay.
By a long shot. And the Pacific Ocean has a much bigger trash patch.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong.
So, yeah, and there's just whales stuck out in that trash patch.
Poor guys.
And manta rays. A lot of manta rays.
Let's save them all.
Yeah. You know how you do it?
EMP.
Yeah, you just turn up the heat and let the humans cook off.
Hopefully the oceans don't boil.
Yeah, there'll always be something that survives in the ocean.
That's true.
I have been the Great and Powerful Mystery.
And I've been Jay.
What's their words of wisdom for the weekend going in?
Well, this weekend, if you find yourself, just alone in your living room and you're bored or just feeling down, remember there's outside. Go outside. Breathe the fresh air and feel the sun on your skin.
Not extremely positive, but still positive. All right, guys. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Freaky Fauna Friday. If you want to help the podcast grow, remember to share and give it a 5-star review.